Hello, my name is Michaela, also known as Gemini Beauty Babe. Today's video is a breakdown of my GemFit series. Now, GemFit is Gemini Beauty Babe Fitness. It is not related to GBB Fit, which is my company. GemFit is a series that I am making for my personal fitness journey. So it's a play on both Gemini Beauty Babe as well as GBB Fit. But this is my personal journey. This is everything to do with my health, fitness, wellness, nutrition, my training schedule, my journey to the competitive stage. So I'm going to take you through it all. Supplements I take, meals I eat, progress points. I put my programs inside my membership, as well as progress pictures and measurements, as it's a more private look at what I do. Okay, methodologies. It's more glute focused, as not just for aesthetics. It is one of the things that judges look for in a bikini competitor. That's where I would be placed, because I've seen myself when I'm lean, and I would be more bikini. So glutes, abs, and shoulders, and to build an hourglass. But also the fact of function-wise, it takes pressure off my lower back. If you look at fitness videos on my page before, it is what's in a gym bag. I have posted on Instagram multiple starting points, and I stopped because my lower back hurt, my hips hurt, and I had problems with my lungs, so I just stopped it. So it was like a false start. But I tested it out for excuse me, for a week. This is week 2, and I am loving the program. I programmed it to where it is glute focused, but also it's more so this first 8 weeks without strain. It is bands and body weight so that I could correct the form, get my body prepped and primed for it. I am in the 160s weight range. All calories, I will never put the calories in a what I eat in a day, being that my calories, even if you're similar to my body weight, you don't have the muscle history I do. You don't have the amount of muscles I do. You might not. My mother and I, various points in the last decade, have been the same weight at different points and look vastly different. Calories for me will not work for her. Calories, you get what I'm saying? It depends on a lot of factors. Genetics, history, if you've been working out or not, and culture, and a lot of things play into it as to how this person looks versus this person with the weight thing. My fat distributes are going to be different from somebody else. My history is going to be different from somebody else. My genetics are going to be different from somebody else. Also, the fact that with training, I have to calculate and keep aware of any injuries I have, any limitations I have, and work on that. I will share on here my stretch routine, my journey throughout everything, things I like, things I don't like. I will have Q&As and lives based around this. My qualifications, I am certified to make the programs I do. My methodologies are glute focused, yes, but I incorporate a little bit of lower body into upper body, like with how I cue certain movements, so that way my lower back doesn't take the brunt of upper body work or lower body work. I do core 3 times a week, so that way my core and my glutes, as well as aesthetics for what I'm going for, long term it focuses on that, so that it takes the pressure off my lower back, it takes the pressure off of my hip flexors, nothing's overextended, nothing's overworked, and it helps. So that way I don't end up having to take another break. You will see everything. There will probably, I can't predict the future, there will probably be moments where I'm like, fuck this, I want to quit. And there will be moments where I am questioning everything. but I know it's worth it. I've been to this point, past this point, closer to where I want to go in 2019 before a lot of my health issues happened. So this is GemFit. My methodology breakdown is going to be talked about in a little bit. So my methodologies for the programs is basically just the methods on how I design the programs. I make sure that there's a strength and a hypertrophy, regardless if it's body weight, bands, regular weights, regardless. I do one strength and one hypertrophy phase back to back minimum. I do not do strength all the way through. I do not do hypertrophy all the way through. I do hypertrophy, low weights, high reps. With strength, it's the other way. Low reps, high weights. So I do those. I start off with a hypertrophy just so I could get the form good, so I could get the tempo good and the mind to muscle connection that I want. And then the strength phase, I take those same exercises and then I just lower the reps, raise the weight. I won't change like the techniques towards it, like a 1 1/4 rep or like a pulse or anything until the next phase. So it's the exact same program from hypertrophy to strength, and that's just how I like to do it because I like to strengthen what I do, and I make sure that every single week I am progressive overloading, whether even if the weights themselves do not change, how long I'm holding that stands for. My progression in keeping that form and making sure it doesn't break down for a little bit longer of a time. Progressive overload could be a lot of things, like maybe it is the weight, maybe it is the tempo, maybe it's, oh wow, I feel like I could go up here and then keep this the same, or anywho. Sorry. So that's my thing there. When it comes to strength, I do a rep scheme of 4 to 6, and then for hypertrophy I do, well, that's for strength, and then for hypertrophy I like to stick between 12 to 15, 20 if it's like a donkey kick or something, but 12 to 15 I like. 3 to 4 sets, and then when it comes to strength it's like 4 to 5 sets, just smaller, whatever it is, to end up the same amount of reps, unless it's like the 15 to 20 range, then I don't worry about it because that's just a lot. I like to keep my workouts at minimum 30 minutes, maximum an hour and a half. If you need to take a little bit longer, take a little bit longer. That's just with the rest periods and then counting out, okay, this is the tempo, so how long is that total, and then how many reps are we doing, so I can add that up and then be like, okay, this is about how long when you add everything up. So I pick, with lower body, I make sure I pick one squatting movement, one lunge, one hinge movement, like let's say a squat, a reverse lunge, a deadlift, and then I make sure to do something like, if I do a reverse lunge this way, I make sure to do something similar as an accessory for another way. So I make sure there's always that, and then abduction I do at the very, very end. But I do a lot of isolated when it comes to the accessories. Like lunge, I think is pretty much an accessory. Do a lot of isolated work there, and then the main lifts like deadlift, I like to do conventional or Romanian. For squats, I don't really do barbell squats, barbell back squats. I can do them, I just don't like to because of lower back issues. So I do other squat variations that are just the same, or I will do the isolated split squats, like the Bulgarian split squat is my favorite, or B stance, or I'll do a straddle lift, which the weight's just in between my legs squatting. So I find ways around it. I can do back squats. I just have to be super, 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 super careful. And then even like, let's say in the strength phase, I do a heavy back squat. I have to be so light on the rest of the workout. Not just to make sure my form is okay, but make sure my lower back does not get fatigued. Because I do my workouts in the morning, so I'm still standing and moving around the rest of the day, that I don't want to fuck up my back I do cuss, but I don't want to fuck up my back to the point that I'm in bed the rest of the day because I went too hard in my workout. And then the next few days while we're recovering from that workout, I'm working out other things. And I do, even in upper body for like my warm-ups, I do things to prep my back and my core, just so that my lower back is protected. My glutes are activated to help support my lower back, even on upper body days. Sorry. So even on upper body days, I do that. And that is my warm-up, is I do a core workout. And not just abs, but the core tissues in my lower back, in my obliques, my lower stomach. And then make sure my glutes are firing, regardless of what day it is, even on rest days. That way, everything else takes the hit and my lower back stays safe, protected, and it could work when it wants to and not when it needs to. So that's always what I aim for, and that's what I look for when it comes to programming my stuff. GemFit is just a peek inside my journey on the way to, right now, it's building my base. I am going to spend the next 2 years eating as much as I can, working out to strengthen up my body, my back, and sculpt out, like, build bigger delts, because I did have them going, but then I lost them over the last couple of years. So build bigger delts, and then of course my back. I made this series and I work out not for the aesthetics of it, more so the functional aspect of it, but I do program my workouts as if I am already a professional bodybuilder, which I'm not. I'm an amateur bodybuilder, but also being a bodybuilding coach helps. That and strength and conditioning. And I also have a corrective exercise specialist certification. So I'm able to take all those and create a program that helps with rehabilitating my back now, correcting patterns in post-injury, correcting my stuff so that it doesn't mess up anymore, prevent further injuries, and also strengthen areas that help kind of cocoon other areas. Like strengthening my glutes will help with so much, but also it will take away a lot of the work, so that way my lower back doesn't put in any, and then my glutes will be the default muscle that it pulls from versus my lower back on any movement I do, regardless if I'm working out or if I'm living life. So that's so far the breakdown of it, and I will talk more about it in another video. I hope you enjoyed, and comment below what you would like for me to include in this series or talk about. So I look forward to your comments. I look forward to making the next video, and I will see you all later. Bye.